fixed? It's a surprisingly difficult question, isn't it? Chances are your broken stuff languishes in your closet until some theoretical day when you can get around to dealing with it. It's frustrating because you actually like your stuff, but it's just too inconvenient. And finally, you give up, and your broken lamp or chair or vacuum joins the 150 million tons of landfill we create every year in the United States. And your new lamp or vacuum contributes to global emissions, toxic working conditions, and even more waste. And the familiar, destructive cycle continues. It doesn't feel good. This is the story of how I learned to feel good about having stuff. It took me more than 7 years of repairing upwards of 2,500 broken objects to come up with a better, simpler way forward, both for individuals and for society. This is a story about finding easy steps toward a simpler, healthier, more sustainable relationship with our stuff. Starting now. The toaster oven. You are hearing these words because my toaster broke, and my desk lamp, and the strap on my backpack, and my vacuum. This small tsunami of broken stuff occurred in 2013 when I was home on maternity leave with my husband Michael, our 4-year-old son Luke, and newborn Eric. It was a wonderful time to be home, to be a mother, and to feel the joy of being with my children. But as parents of new babies know, those precious early months are also a time of incredible upheaval, occasional irrationality, and dismal, fractured sleep. At night, when the baby needed to be nursed, or bounced on that infernal yoga ball, or cried until we carried him up and down the hall, or woke just to kick me awake and then drift into slumber himself, I had trouble falling back to sleep. I would lie in my bed, sometimes for hours, thinking about things. I thought about small things. How much clutter seemed to be accumulating in our small New York apartment every Christmas and birthday that went by, not to mention all the baby gear. It piled up like a one-way flow behind a reservoir dam. Lots and lots of new stuff in, and only a small trickle out. I thought about big things. The impact of manufacturing all that new, unneeded stuff on the deeply imperiled planet my young kids would grow up on. And sometimes I got stuck thinking about small things, the toaster and the vacuum and the rest of my little collection of broken objects just hanging around the house, collecting dust and unable to do their jobs. The vacuum manufacturer recommended visiting the nearest service center in Hackensack, New Jersey. Needless to say, remember the newborn and the toddler, this was not likely to happen. Add to that the separate errands required for the backpack, the toaster, and the lamp, and the effort involved in simply maintaining the perfectly good things that I already had was beginning to feel insurmountable. Amazon beckoned. But I didn't want to get a new vacuum. I wanted the old one to work. And in the wilderness of fractured sleep that is newborndom, I tossed and turned, groping for a way forward. I lay awake at night, yearning for rest, terrified about climate change, and thinking about my damn vacuum. I began to connect the dots. I thought about how the vacuum, and desk lamp, and backpack, and toaster are part of a much bigger economic system of large-scale extraction of resources, poor design, rapid manufacture, global distribution, early obsolescence, and disposal. I thought about what it means to raise kids in a culture where we place almost no value on longevity, maintenance, durability, on care, where many of the things we use are disposable, where many of the things around us are toxic to the people who make them, the people who use them, and to the planet, where many of us are disconnected from the people who make our things and from our ability to make or mend our own things, and where we are extracting and using resources at an unsustainable rate to make things that are, often, just crap. I wondered, what does this mean for our bodies, our lives, our children, for the road we are hurtling down as a species, for the story we are living as thinking beings? And I thought, what might we, be able to do about it? For starters, I imagined how nice it would be if it were possible, maybe even easy,